Mataji started.
The third canto, we'll be starting with the third chapter, how Vidura is meeting till now, how Uddhava is speaking to Vidura. Okay, that's what we studied. Uddhava meeting Vidura, how he remembered, how Uddhava is remembering Lord, and how many questions were asked. So all those things we saw in the second chapter. A bit little recap we should do always. Those questions were asked by Vidura. So the great sage, when the great devotee Uddhava was asked by Vidura, then Uddhava started speaking about the Lord, about Lord. He has not touched the topic. Lord has left to his abode. He has not spoken about that. He's just telling about different qualities about Lord. The same Uddhava. Now he is speaking about how Lord went to Mathura city. That means outside Vrindavan. So all the pastimes outside Vrindavan that has been spoken now by Uddhava to Vidura. So Vidura wanted to know. Let us see. उद्धवाच तथा स आगत्य पुरं स्वपित्रो चिकीर्षयाशं बलदेव संयुतः निपात्य तुङ्गादरिपु यूतनाथं हतं व्यकर्षद् व्यसुमोजसोऽव्याम् उद्धवाच Uddhava said, Tatah, thereafter, for the last verse where we ended, Lord saved everybody from the danger by holding Govard. So that was the last verse in the previous chapter. That means how Lord saved the Brajavasis. Now thereafter, that means being with Brajavasis, after that, Lord Agatyaha Puram. He came to Mathura. Puram here refers to Mathura. Swapitraha, own parents, Chikirshya, wishing well, some well-being. Bala Samita, he came along with Baladev, and why he came to please or wish well his parents, Vasudeva and Deva. Now, Nipatya was dragged into the Tungat Rupa Yukha Nath. So, what they did, they dragged Kamsa from his throne. And then Ripu Yuthanath. He was actually the leader of public enemies. Those who were inimical by nature, he was leader of it. And then Hatam Vikarshata. In this way, he was pulled down on the ground and then he was killed. Ojasaha Urayam, that means he was killed on the ground. Krishna sat on the chest of Kamsa, eating him. And in this way, was pulled from his throne. He was dragged to the ground from the platform. Tungat means on the platform, and then he was beaten. Some means beaten. Then he was Vyasam. Vyasam means he was killed. Then he dragged that body on the ground in order to prevent his frightened parents from fainting, since they thought that he could get killed. In this way. So here this chapter, third chapter, describes pastimes of Krishna in Mathura and Dwara. So here now the killing of Kamsa has been described. Destruction of Yadu dynasty is also going to be described. There is more where Vidura is actually asking. In the previous chapter, nothing has been spoken. Only glory is about how Lord is so humble, even though the Supreme Personality of God, but still He is doing all the menial activities with the Vrajavasis. That's given. Runa, start.
Hare Krishna. Chapter 3, Text 1. Uddhava uvacha tatah sagatya puram swapitro chikirshaya shambaladeva samyutah nipatya tungadri puyuthanatam hatam vyakarshad vyasumojasorvyam. Translation. Sri Uddhava said, thereafter Lord Krishna went to Mathura city with Sri Baladeva, and to please their parents, they dragged Kamsa, the leader of public enemies, down from his throne and killed him, pulling him along the ground with great strength. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. King Kamsa's death is only briefly described here because such pastimes are vividly and elaborately described in the 10th canto. The Lord proved to be worthy son of his parents. Even at the age of 16 years, both brothers, Lord Krishna and Lord Baladeva, went to Mathura from Vrindavana and killed their maternal uncle who had given so much trouble to their parents, Vasudeva and Devaki. Kamsa was a great giant, and Vasudeva and Devaki never thought that Krishna and Baladeva, would be able to kill such a great strong enemy. When the two brothers attacked Kamsa on the throne, their parents feared that now Kamsa would finally get the opportunity to kill their sons, whom they had hidden for so long in the house of Nanda Maharaja. The parents of the Lord, due to paternal affection, felt extreme danger and they almost fainted. Just to convince them that they had actually killed Kamsa, Krishna and Baladeva pulled Kamsa's dead body along the ground to encourage them. Hare Krishna.
So they were in fear, oh, Kamsa will kill their sons. That is why to encourage them that Kamsa has not killed us, or that Kamsa cannot kill us. It is we who are killed. Who is talking?
पर्यंत आला होता त्याला आपल्या
Can you mute your phone?
पोरासोबत आला
I don't believe that. Oh, it's not very good. Okay. Next. Sandipane Sakruta Proktam Brahmaditya Savistaram Tasmai Pradadvaram Putram Mritam Panchajanodarat Sandipane Sakruta Proktam. So now Lord learned under the guidance of Sandipani. Went to the ashram of Sandipani. What did he learn? Brahma. Prokta means instructor. Sandipani instructor. Sakruta means once only. Brahma, that means all the Vedas with different branches of knowledge. Then Aditya, after studying Savistaram in all details. Tasmahi unto him, Pradar, rewarded, Varam a benediction, Putran his son, Mritam who was already dead, Panchajanya, the region of the departed souls, Udarat from within. So Lord learned all the Vedas with the different branches simply by hearing them once from his teacher Sandipani Muni, whom he awarded by bringing back his dead son from the region of Vedas with different branches that refers to the 6 Angas. Shiksha, Vyakarana, Nirukti, Chanda. Then you have Jyotish, Kalpa. These are the 6 Angas of Vedas. You should know the 6 Angas of Vedas. Shiksha. Then you have Vyakarana. Shiksha means A, B, C, D, you tell. Then you join the words. Then Vyakarana. Nirukti, joining the words, making statements. And then afterwards you have Chanda. Now, Chanda means composing big mantras, Chanda, and giving them a rhythm, Chanda, meter, you can say. And then you have Jyotish Vidya, and then you have Kalpa. Kalpa means in different millenniums or different times, what all happens. So these are the 6 angas which Lord learned from from Sandipani. Just he heard once why you should hear actually. But he shows the learning can be done only with the help of a teacher. And then he pierced the stomach of Panchajanya, the demon. And in this way, he brought the son from death and gave him to Sandipani. From Panchajanya, he acquired a shell. He took the shell and blew at the gates of Yamaloka. Yamaraj comes. And when he blew the conch shell, it is said in the Yamaloka, everything was differently happening. Where the people should experience pain, they were experiencing pleasure. Where they are deep fried in, in piling oil, there they are thinking that they are actually swimming in a very cool water. Where they are made to roll on the thorny, you can say, on the thorns they are made to roll. There they feel that they are rolling on the petals. So they get an yatana sharira in the hellish planet. The soul gets an yatana sharira to experience a lot of misery. Where the earthly planet is not sufficient to avoid the misery, then the soul is sent to the Yamaloka, where they experience a lot of misery. But instead of experiencing misery, they are experiencing pleasure. So even Yamadutas are thinking, what is happening? Then Yamaraj, he was reading Bhagavatam. The biggest Bhagavatam is there in Yamaloka. He understood, oh, my Lord has come, because Lord comes along with Balram. They play the conch shell, which they acquired from this Panchajanya demon. And that is how now, when Yamaraj comes and pays obeisances, at the time, Lord says, give Sandipani Muni's son back. This way. That is the Guru Dakshina, what they gave to Sandipani. What is given here. Raksha Mataji, you read.
हाँ माताजी श्लोका 2 सांदीपने सकृत्प्रोक्तं ब्रह्मादित्य सविस्तरं तस्मै प्रादावरं पुत्रं मृतं पंचजनोदरात्. Translation: The Lord learned all the Vedas with their different branches simply by hearing them once from his teacher Sandipani Muni, whom he rewarded by bringing back his dead son from the region of Yamloka. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai ho. No one but the Supreme Lord can become well versed in all the branches of Vedic wisdom simply by hearing once from his teacher. Nor can anyone bring a dead body back to life after the soul has already gone to the region of Yamraja. But Lord Krishna ventured to the planet of Yamloka and found the dead son of his teacher and brought him back to his father as a reward for the instructions received. The Lord is continuously well versed in all the Vedas and yet to teach by example that everyone must go to learn the Vedas from an authorized teacher and must satisfy the teacher by service and reward. He himself adopted this system. The Lord offered his services to his teacher, Sandipani Muni, and the Muni, knowing the power of the Lord, asked something which was impossible to be done by anyone else. The teacher asked that his beloved son, who had died, be brought back to him, and the Lord fulfilled the request. The Lord is not therefore an ingrate to anyone who renders him some sort of service. The devotees of the Lord who always engage in his loving service are never to be disappointed in the progressive march of devotional service. Hare Krishna.
Now, how Lord in Gandharva Vivaha was arranged, but it is actually Rakshasa Vivaha. In that style, Lord married Rukmini. Rakshasa Vivaha means just abducting, just taking and going. The next, Samahuta Bhishmaka Kanyaya Ye Shriyasa Savarnena Bhushaneisham Gandharvya Mishatam Subhagam Chare Padam Murthy Dadat Suparna Samahata, invited. Bhishmaka, King Bhishma, Kanyaya, the daughter. Ye, almost. Shriya, fortune. Savarnena, by a similar sequence. Bhushaya, expecting to be seen. Esham of them. Gandharva in marriage. Vrittaya, by such a custom. Mishatam, carrying Swabhagam, own share, Jahare, took away. Padam feet, Murdhani on the head, Dadhat, placed Suparnaha, Garuda. So attracted by the beauty and fortune of Rukmini, the daughter of King Bhishma, many great princes and kings assembled to marry. But Lord Krishna, stepping over the other hopeful candidate, carried her away as his own share as Garuda carries away nectar. So here, many kings were invited. Why? Because Gandharva Vivaha. Gandharva Vivaha means the daughter can choose. That is Gandharva Vivaha. But now here, Lord just stepped and Kaundanyapur. That is a place where Bhishmak is the king. Rukmini's birthplace is Kaundanyapur. So there, Lord appears, he steps and just takes her away. And that is actually known as Rakshasa style, Rakshasa Vivaha. Just carries her away. And Shishupal, he wanted that Rukmini should be his wife. And other kings also wanted Rukmini should be their wife. But they only desired. By the time what happened? Here Krishna automatically came and just took her away. That is what is given. Like Garuda, no? Here Garuda seizing the nectar. There was a comparison speaking. Given down in the Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Samahuta Bhishmaka Kanyaye Shriya Savarnena Babhushaisha Gandharva Vittaya Mishtam Swabhagam Jahre Padam Murdhani Dadat Suparna. Attracted by the beauty and fortune of Rukmini, the daughter of King Bhishmak, many great princes and kings assembled to marry her. But Lord Krishna, stepping over the other hopeful candidates, carried her away as his own share, as Garud carried away nectar. Purport: Princess Rukmini, the daughter of King Bhishmak, was actually as attractive as fortune itself because she was as valuable as gold, both in color and in value. Since the goddess of fortune Lakshmi is the property of the Supreme Lord, Rukmini was actually meant for Lord Krishna. But Shishupal was selected as a bridegroom by Rukmini's elder brother, although King Bhishmak wanted his daughter to be married to Krishna. Rukmini invited Krishna to take her away from the clutches of Shishupal. So when the bridegroom Shishupal came there with his party, with the desire to marry Rukmini, Krishna all of a sudden swept her from the scene, stepping over the heads of all the princes there, just as Garud carried away nectar from the hands of the demons. This incident will be clearly explained in the 10th canto. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Now see the 10th canto is Dwarka Leela, Mathura Leela, that is all going on. But all in short, the same thing will be spoken as a chapter in 10th canto. But all the details have been given now. How Lord tames the bulls, the 7 bulls, and then how he marries Nagnajiti in the Swayambara war, Swayambara ceremony that has been given. Kakudmino avidha nasho samitva Swayambare Nagnajitim ubaha tadbhagnamanam api hridayato jnyan Jakye kshatah shastra vratah swashastrah swashastrahi. So Kakudmina. Kakudmina means the bulls whose noses were not pierced. That means untamed bulls. If the noses are not pierced, they can be very wild. And if the nose is pierced and they are like they're tamed. Avidha nashahi. So what he did, he pierced the nose. He subdued the 7 bulls whose nose were not pierced. So then in this way, he just subdued them. Damana, Damitva. Damitva means he subdued them. Swayamvare in the open competition was kept to select the bridegroom. In this way, he won Nagni Jitim. This is the princess Nagni Jiti. And he married her. Tad Bhagnamanam. And in this way, he disappointed whom? Agyana. Agyana means the fools who wanted, Hrudayataha, who wanted to marry the princess. He killed them very easily. Jagnihe, killed and wounded them. Akshataha, without he being wounded. Without he being wounded, he wounded them. Shastraha Bhrutaha, equipped with all weapons. Swashastrahi, by his own weapons. In this way, Lord killed and wounded all of them. Though the 7 bulls were not fierce, but still Lord subdued them. They were very, very when the bulls are not fierce, they attack also. They're very wild. He could easily subdue them. Next is Priyam Prabhur Gramya Iva Priyaya Vidit Surachat Dutarum Yadarthe Vajryadravat Tam Saguna Saguno Rushangaha Pida Mrugonunam Mayam Vadhunam Priyam of the dear wife, Prabhu, the Lord, Gramyaha, ordinary living beings, Iva, in the manner of Priyayaha, just to please, Viditsu, wishing, Archat, brought about, Yutarum, the Parijata flower tree, the Satyabhama he did, was very dear wife, yet for which Arthe, in the matter of Vajrihi Indra, the king of heaven, Adravatam, went forward to fight with him, Sa Ganaha, with full strength, Rusha, in anger, Andha, blind, Krida, Mruga, henpecked, Nunam, of course, I am this, Vadhuna, the wives. So just to please his dear one, the Lord brought back the Parijat tree from heaven, just as an ordinary husband would do. So henpecked, Krishna is also known as henpecked husband. Krishna loves to be called also. But Indra, the king of heaven, induced by his wives, he is also henpecked, as he was. Even Krishna is also actually henpecked. But henpecked word is used for now Indra. Ran after the Lord with full force to fight with him. Because the queens of Indra, they said, what is this? Our Parijat flower tree has been stolen by Krishna. Actually, Isha was in Vidam Sarvam, everything belongs to Lord. But somehow here, Indra, he was dominated by his wife. His wife, very beautiful wives like Sachi. So he became fool. Like others get proper, like so all other persons, they are dominated by their wives, they are also foolish. But when Krishna is called an henpecked husband, he is not foolish. He just shows that even though I am spirit personality of God, I sometimes run behind my wives. I try to please them also. Now, why he should take Satyabhama to Indra Loka? And there Satyabhama is asking, Krishna is also taking the Parijat flower and coming here. So Lord is fully independent. The answer is what? Lord is fully independent. Lord, everything belongs to Lord. He is the proprietor. Yeah. The 2 verses are there. So like an ordinary husband also, Krishna hates. Here it is given. Krishna appeared to be an ordinary husband controlled by his wife. So and he wanted to give a dear object out of prema to his wife, who also had so much of prema. Vishla Vishwachakravati is writing. He thus took the Parijat tree, the tarum, and then Indra went to fight with him. So this is ignorance or not? Indra is subservient to Krishna. The 2 times it has happened. Just now, in the Vrindavan Leela, Indra's pride is smashed. Again, Indra did a mistake of running behind Krishna to fight with him. Adravat means he went to attack. So he was blinded with anger. So many times Indra has done a lot of mistakes. But still Krishna always helps Indra. Because one thing is that demigods are always surrendered to Lord. That is one thing only. Though they sometimes fight with Lord, they had surrendered to Lord. So now, why he was blinded with anger? Because his wife Sachi induced him. He's given him. Atmaman manyate he jagat. Everyone else is similar to oneself. Atmavan manyate jagat. According to the principle that one thinks that everyone else is similar to oneself, Indra thought that Krishna was also a plaything of Satyabhama. So criticizing Krishna in this way, he pursued him for fighting. There is a small phrase which says Atmavan manyate jagat. What you are, you think that everybody is like that. Really said, you put a glass, you look the world according to the glass what you have won. According to how you are, you think that others are also like that. So here he said, Indra also thought, I am henpecked, he is also henpecked. I am controlled by my wife, see, he is also controlled by his. So in this way, he is criticizing Krishna and is pursuing him for fighting. Okay, 2 verses. Bindu, you read the person.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Text 4. Kakudmino vidana sudam vita स्वयंवरेणाग्नचितिं मुवः तद्भग्नमानम् अपिगृह्यतोऽज्ञ जग्ने शतः शस्त्रभृतः स्वशस्त्रैः. Translation. By subduing 7 bulls whose noses were not pierced, the Lord achieved the hand of Princess Nagjiti in the open competition to select her bridegroom. Although the Lord was victorious, his competitors asked the hand of the princess, and thus there was a fight. Well equipped with weapons, the Lord killed or wounded of them, but he himself was not hurt. Text 5. Priyam Prabhurgramya iva priyaya viditsur archad dyuttarum yadarte vajraya द्रवत्वां तं सगणो रुषान्धः क्रीडामृगो नूनम् अयं वधूनाम्. Translation. Just to please his dear wife, the Lord brought back the Parijat tree from heaven, just as an ordinary husband would do. But Indra, the king of heaven, induced by his wives, henpecked as he was, ran after the Lord with full force to fight him. Purport. The Lord once went to the heavenly planet to present an earring to Aditi, the mother of the demigods, and his wife Satyabhama also went with him. There is a special flowering tree called the Parijata, which grows only in the heavenly planets, and Satyabhama wanted this tree. Just to please his wife, like an ordinary husband, the Lord brought back the tree, and this enraged Vajri, or the controller of the thunderbolt. Indra's wives inspired him to run after the Lord to fight, and Indra, because he was a henpecked husband, also a fool, listened to them and dared to fight with Krishna. He was a fool on this occasion because he forgot that everything belongs to the Lord. There was no fault on the part of the Lord, even though he took away the tree from the heavenly kingdom. But because Indra was henpecked, dominated by his beautiful wives like Sachi, he became a fool, just as all persons who are dominated by their wives are generally foolish. Indra thought that Krishna was a henpecked husband who only by the will of his wife Satyabhama took away the property of heaven, and therefore he thought that Krishna could be punished. He forgot that the Lord is the proprietor of everything and cannot be henpecked. The Lord is fully independent, and by his will only he can have hundreds and thousands of wives like Satyabhama.
He is not therefore attached to Satyabhama because she was a beautiful wife, but he was pleased with her devotional service and thus wanted to reciprocate the unalloyed devotion to his devotee. Hare Krishna Mataji.
सुतमृतेखं वपुषा रसन्तं दृष्ट्वा सुनाभोन्मथितं दरिद्र्या आमन्त्रितस्तस् आमन्त्रितस्तत्तनयाय शेषं दत्त्वा तदन्तः पुरमाविवेशान्. Sutam son, Mridhe in the fight, Kham the sky, Vabhusha by his body, Grasadantam while devouring, Drishtva seeing, Tunab by the Sudarshan wheel, Unmatitam killed, Dharitreya by the earth, Amantritaha being prayed for, Tat Tanayaya to the son of Narkasura, Shesham that which was taken from, Tattva turning it, Tat is Antahapuram inside the house, Avishesha. Avivesha entered. So Narkasura, the son of Dharitri, that is Bhuma Devi, the earth, tried to grasp the whole sky, and for this he was killed by the Lord in a fight. His mother then prayed to the Lord. This led to the return of the kingdom to the son of Narkasura. And thus the Lord entered the house of the Lord. This is what is given here. So here, Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur's commentary also will see. So Narkasura is a son who swallowed the sky with his form, had been slain by the Chakra Sunabhi. And mother requested Krishna, after giving the kingdom to his son, Bhagadatta, entered into that palace. Though Narkasura's mother's lineage was pure by association with Banasura, he developed a demonic mind. One can understand about the power of bad association from the story in another Purana. So mother is an expansion of Satyabhama or Bhu Lakshmi. So Satyabhama, mother. Her son is Narkasura. One story says that Narka was born when Hiranyaksha touched the earth and made it sink in the ocean. There is a note which has been given that Hiranyaksha, when he touched the earth, that is the time Narkasura was born. That is why he is an Asura. It is not Krishna is father. Any of Krishna is father for everyone. But when Hiranyaksha touched the earth, this demon is born. Actually, he is son of Hiranyaksha. But technically, because Satyabhama is expansion of Mother Earth, so that is why he is called as son of Krishna. And she demanded a place for the son, to his son Bhagadatta, and also asked Krishna to be there. So Lord gave the kingdom to Narkasura's son Bhagadatta. Narkasura's son, Lord gave the kingdom, and then entered into that palace. He killed Narkasura and gave the kingdom to Bhagadatta. Clearly it has been given. Okay. He returned the kingdom to the son of Narkasura. His name is given Bhagadatta. And why Narkasura became a demon? Because he had bad association. Bhagadatta name has not been given in Srila Prabhupada's purports, but it has been given in Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur's commentary. Narkasura's son's name is Bhagadatta. Because this Narkasura became a demon because he had a bad association with Banas. Okay. Prabhupada emphasizes on good association. Then Lamadaji read.
सुतमृधेकं वपुषा प्रसन्तं दृष्ट्वा सुनाभोन्मथितं धरित्र्या आमान्त्रितस्तत्तनयया शेषं दत्त्वा तदन्तःपुरम् आविवेश. Narakasura, the son of Dharitri, the earth, tried to grasp the whole sky, and for this he was killed by the Lord in a fight. His mother then prayed to the Lord. This led to the return of the kingdom to the son of Narakasura, and thus the Lord entered the house of the demon. It is said in other Puranas that Narakasura was the son of Dharitri, the earth, by the Lord himself. But he became a demon due to the bad association of Bana, another demon. An atheist is called a demon. And it is a fact that even a person born of good parents can turn into a demon by bad association. Birth is not always the criteria of goodness. Unless and until one is trained in the culture of good association, one cannot be good. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Next. तत्रावृतास्तां नरदेव कन्या कुजेन दृष्ट्वा हरिमातबन्धुम् उत्थाय सद्यो जगृहुः प्रहर्ष व्रीडानुराग प्रहितावलोकैः. Again, in the house of the demon, all the princes kidnapped by Narakasura at once became alert upon seeing the Lord. How Krishna got 18,000 wives. How many wives? Krishna? Sorry, 16,000 wives. Tatra, inside the house of Narakasura, Ahavitaha kidnapped Taha, all those Naradeva Kanyaha, daughters of many kings, Pujena by the demon, Drishtva by seeing, Harim the Lord, Arthabandhu, the friend of the distressed, Uthai at once got up. Sadhyaha, then and there, Jaguruhu accepted, Praharshaha, joyfully, Vida, shyness, Anurag, attachment, Prahitaha, Avalokaha, Avalokahi, by eager glances. 16,100 queens, women were actually kidnapped. They were all princes actually. That is how 16,108, you see, this 8 are special. 16,100 were kidnapped. And then Lord, what he did, when Narakasura kidnapped many daughters of great kings, he kept them in prison. Now when he was killed by Lord, then Lord entered the house of the demon. And all these princes were enlightened. The report is given here. So there were many princes who were stolen by Narakasura, Jaina. They were so happy, and everyone accepted Krishna as husband. Okay. Aruna, read.
Text 7. तत्राहृतास्ता नरदेव कन्या कुजेन दृष्ट्वा हरिमार्तबन्धुम् उत्थाय सद्यो जगृहुः प्रहर्ष व्रीडानुरागप्रहितावलोकैः. Translation. There in the house of the demon, all the princes kidnapped by Narakasura at once became alert upon seeing the Lord, the friend of the distressed. They looked upon him with eagerness, joy, and shyness, and offered to be his wives. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Narakasura kidnapped many daughters of the great kings and kept them imprisoned in his palace. But when he was killed by the Lord, and the Lord entered the house of the demon, all the princesses were enlivened with joy and offered to become his wives, because the Lord is the only friend of the distressed. Unless the Lord accepted them, there would be no chance of their being married, because the demon kidnapped them from their father's custody, and therefore no one would agree to marry them. According to Vedic society, girls are transferred from the custody of the father to the custody of the husband. Since these princes had already been taken away from the custody of their fathers, it would have been difficult for them to have any husband other than the Lord himself. Hare Krishna.
Because once the girl is stolen, nobody accepts her. It's very difficult for them to go back. Krishna accepted them. The last verse. You can do 2 verses more. 9 to 2. Asa muhurta ekasmin नानागारेषु योषितां सविधं जगृहे पाणिम् अनुरूपः स्वमायया आसाम्. All those muhurte at one time. Ekasmin, simultaneously, Nana Agareshu, in different compartments. The Lord gave different compartments simultaneously to everyone. Oshita, of the women, Savidham, with perfect rituals. They married women. Jagrahe accepted Pani in hands, Anurupaha, exactly to match Swamaya by his internal potency. So Lord also assumed different bodily expansions and he gave different apartments to them. And he accepted their hands in perfect rituals by his internal potency. In one place it is said Lord expanded, but in another place, Lord simultaneously is present in all the places without expanding. That is his opulence. Without expanding, he is there in all the places. That is how swift are his movements. Like in Ras dance, Lord has expanded to as many gopis. That is one place it is said. Another place it is said, Lord himself is there with everyone simultaneously. That means his movements are so quick. One cannot understand. So he accepted them according to the regulations of marriage. Savidham. He performed this act by his Yogamaya, Swamaya, or without bewilderment, Maya. Okay. By his Yogamaya, Swamaya, he accepted. The next verses. Kaswapatyani ajanyaya atmatulyani sarvatah ekaitasyan dasha prakrute bhushayan. Dasu unto them apatyani, offering ajanayat, begot, atmatulyani, all like himself, sarvatah in all respects, ekasyam, in each and every one of them, dasha 10, prakrute, for expanding himself, vibhushaya, so desire. And then to expand himself according to his transcendental features, the Lord begot in each and every one of them 10 offspring with exactly his own qualities. That means 1,60,108 sons. So that is how he expanded. So they are all expansions of Krishna. So again, Hindu Mataji, read both the verses and here we will stop. The next is about Kalyava, Muchukunda.
Text 8. आसम्मृत एकस्मिन् ननागारेषु योषितां सविदं जग्रे पाणिन् अनुरूपः स्वमायया. Translation: all those princesses were lodged in different apartments, and the Lord simultaneously assumed different bodily expansions, exactly matching each and every princess. He accepted their hands in perfect rituals by his internal potency. Purport: in Brahma Samhita 5.33, the Lord is described as follows in regard to his innumerable plenary expansions. Advaitamachyutamanandimanantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayavvanam cha Vedeshu Durlabhamadurlabham Atma Bhakto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. The Lord Govinda, whom I worship, is the original personality of Godhead. He is non-different from his innumerable plenary expansions, who are infallible, original, and unlimited, and who have eternal forms. Although he is primeval, the oldest personality, he is always fresh and young. By his internal potency, the Lord can expand himself into various personalities by Swayam Prakasha, and again into Prabhava and Vaibhava forms, and all of them are non-different from one another. The forms into which the Lord expanded to marry the princess in different apartments were all slightly different just to match each and every one of them. They are called Vaibhava Vilasa forms of the Lord and are affected by his internal potency Yogamaya. Text 9. तासव पत्यान्य जनययात् आत्मतुल्यानि सर्वतः एकैकस्यां दश दश प्रकृतेर्विभूषया. Translation: just to expand himself according to his transcendental features, the Lord begot in each and every one of them 10 offsprings with exactly his own qualities. Hare Krishna Mataji.
So here we'll stop. Any questions you can ask. The next is Kalyavan Muchukun, appearance of Pandarinatha. Who is Muchukun? He is the same Pundalik. Pandarinatha is the same. Okay then? All whole pastimes of Dwarka Lila, which we have from the chapter, I think from here or something. Check in the outside Vrindavan. Okay. Stop here. And Chapter pass into the